A year ago at this time, you talked about how your team was almost a little lost. They didn't really know you and your staff. You didn't really know what you had. Can you put into words how much farther along they are now?
We're a little lost now. You know, we had 2 exhibition games, and I think we played pretty well. But right now, I don't think any of us know who to play. You know, we have 12, 13 guys that are, you know, fighting for minutes, and they're a little lost in the understanding that we're going to play the guys that give us the best chance to win. So chemistry is a big challenge with this group. Last year, you could have picked our starting team coming to one practice. This year, I think we'd all have different opinions. But if we, you know, find the right chemistry, I think this team could be pretty good.
You've talked about the added talent, the freshman, Yannick, and then, of course, the 3 transfers. Last year, like you said, you had 5 guys who had 30-plus minutes a game. What's going to be the biggest benefit of dropping their minutes down?
Well, I mean, the biggest benefits right now is we have competition in every practice. And I think last year, the fact that we played guys so many minutes, we had to play a different style. You know, we played zone. I don't know how to coach zone or play against zone. That's not going to be the trademark of this program for the future, even though these new rules might force you to play zone. And, you know, we got to be careful about how the game's refereed and then judge how we need to play. But we're so much further along because we have the starters back. The 3 transfers were with us the whole year. And then the new kids we have, you know, have been pretty well coached, and they're pretty talented. So I'm excited about that aspect.
You mentioned those new rules. They've tweaked the blocking and charging, and then they've also asked officials to call the hand checking on the perimeter more. How has that changed how you and your staff are coaching these guys?
Well, the block charge rule is great. You know, I hate to see a guy flop, but when a guy's going into motion, if you don't establish position before he gets there, goes into motion, I think you shouldn't be rewarded. But the hand checking troubles me because it ruined the NBA game in my mind, and I was there when it started. It puts too much pressure on the referees. I think the games are going to be really too long. Your better players might be in foul trouble, and people aren't coming to see teams play and have their best players sit on the bench. I think the intent is great. They want to improve scoring. They want to have more freedom of movement. But you got kids that are younger. Fundamentally, they're not as sound. We're putting kids in a system rather than teach them how to play. So that, to me, is the reason why scoring is down.
Do you have anybody play 30 minutes a game?
Maybe.
Regularly?
Maybe. You know, I mean, we got a few guys that they're sitting on the bench, I'll be dying. But I think as time goes on, they'll determine how much they play. And you know, when we do go to the bench, in some cases we might get better. It might not happen right away, but certainly with our young kids and Yannick, I think the more that they're involved in the program, the better able they'll be to help us.
Do you have your starting 5 yet?
I do. But we got 2 more days of practice, so.
You got change between now and then?
Oh, absolutely. I told him today.
Do you think it might change a lot as the year goes on?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that what you want?
I mean, I want guys to give us the best chance to win, that play hard, that play the most unselfishly, that play the smartest. And if it'd be all right if they'd rebound and defend a little bit. So.
Yeah, all right.
Coach Brown, you've had a chance to have some of your former players, Allen Iverson, David Robinson, the Admiral, come by and stop by and talk to your team. What's that been like?
Avery Johnson also.
Avery Johnson also.
Yeah, it's been great. I think, you know, they were honest with the kids. They were gracious. They had different stories to say, but I think the message was the same. A lot of times, you know, when they hear the same voice over and over again, it gets old. But when you have guys that are so successful and such high character guys telling kids what they need to hear, it's pretty darn good. So, you know, and it was great for me because, you know, they told some stories about me that enlightened me a little bit.
You hear coaches in a lot of sports talk about players who may light it up in practice, but until they do it in a game, not always sure what you've got. You've got the 3 transfers who practiced with you all last year, Marcus Kennedy, Nick Moore, and Crandall Head. How close are they to being ready on the same level with your returning guys?
Oh, they're way ahead of where our team was last year. They've had a year just like the 5 starters to understand what we want. They've been here for summer school, so we're so much ahead of last year. We would have practice plans, and they were with great intention about going over a lot of things, and I don't remember one time we completed our practice plan. And we've already done that numerous days here.